Hi, my name is Michelle Heron. I've had this Hoya IKEA greenhouse going for about 3 months now, so I thought I would take you for a tour of it and to show you what plants there are in it and what the growth has been like since I've put them in here. To start off with, I'm going to start off with my Hoya elliptica. I love this plant. I got it about 2.5 months ago as an unrooted cutting. It has grown like mad. It actually grew all the way up to the ceiling. So I just recently this week cut off 2 of the stems and repotted it and let it try and grow. Now, what I'm pointing at are these aborted stems. I read on a Facebook group that might be from red mite damage or mite damage. So I took them out and I sprayed them, and so hopefully that will solve that problem and these will grow leaves. But I just love this. The top part was looking a little scraggly, but the bottom part is still really nice and pretty. This is my Hoya cipitogenesis. Normally these sunstress a really pretty pinkish red color. I've never gotten mine to do that yet. So I leave it in the back of the cabinet. It's grown. I've taken cuttings off of it, and it just keeps growing, wrapped around itself some more. It's got a yellow leaf right there, but that's an old leaf, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to leave it in dirt because that's where it's happy. I normally like to put my Hoyas in leca, but when they come in dirt, I try to leave them as is, so they have the best possible conditions to match what they were seeded in. Now this is my Hoya suryogansis. I got this as a 3-leaf plant. It did have some spider mite damage on one of the main leaves, which you can see right there, but it's just taken off ever since then. The leaves are kind of all rounded and all funky shaped, and this one right here actually got a cut in it as a new leaf, but it didn't fall off. It continued to grow. So it's on a temporary trellis right now, until I can figure out what to do with it. I'll take it out of the container, out of the greenhouse, so you can see just how much growth there is on this plant. Now behind that is my Hoya fungii. It's got 4 leaves. It's kind of hard to see right now. I keep it in the back in some shade to keep the dark green viable. I don't want to sun stress it and bleach it out. It has 2 stems that hopefully will produce some more new leaves coming in the meantime. Let's put back that suryogansis. Well, maybe not. These are my Hoya curtisi cuttings. I got them in perlite, and to be really honest with you, they've done so well in perlite that I'm afraid to take them out because I'm afraid I'm going to kill them. I know a lot of people talk about how temperamental a plant the curtisii is. So there it sits in perlite. This is a Silver Glory String of Hearts cutting I got. It's just kind of living its best life in the greenhouse right now. It's happy there. This is my Hoya Sunrise. I got this as one long stem cutting, and I cut it up into 1 and 2 node pieces and put it in a small container and rooted it in a chunky mix. And as you can see, it's got aerial roots to spare. It's got some sun stressing, but not as much as I'd like. You can see the sun stressing a little more up high. This plant right here is a hard one to get out. This is my Hoya Rebecca. I got this as some cuttings, and the cuttings came in a chunky mix, and they just took off. I need to repot this really bad, but I'm afraid to. It's such a prodigious producer that I don't want to mess it up at all. So I just kind of leave it as is. Let's see if I can put this back where it won't fall over, because it kind of tries to fall over a lot. Back here is a Hoya Bella cutting. It's just a little one stem cutting. I got it as a one node. This is my Hoya linearis. This is my main linearis. It's got two main offshoots. One comes from back here and goes all the way down there, like you can see. And the other one goes all the way down. It goes down to there. And then there's an offshoot right there. And then it goes down some more. And it finally ends right down here. It's had some inconsistent watering. I moved it to leca. Some of the leaves fell off, but it's still a really good plant in good condition. So I love it. To move back in the back corner, this is my Hoya encrasada album marginata. This has been kind of a difficult plant for me. I got it as a 2-leaf cutting. It got red mites. One of the leaves became so damaged I had to remove it. It grew 2 new leaves, but then it stalled. So I moved it to the back of the greenhouse to hopefully give it more optimal conditions to grow. But I'm hoping it produces something, because the stem kind of stalled out on me. But it's one of my favorites. This isn't my newest plant. This is the Hoya villatinoides. I hope I said that right. I got it as a trade for another plant of mine. It's got beautiful long vine. It's got beautiful long leaves. I love it. I can't wait to see more growth from it. Put it in something more permanent. But that's what that is right now. This is my Hoya retusa. I got this with the Suryogansis, and as you can see, the tendrils have really grown down far, and it's on a stand. So this is one of the Hoyas I might take out of the greenhouse because it doesn't require so much humidity. This is a variegated Alocasia odara. I grew this from a corm, but unfortunately only 2 of the leaves grew in with any green in them. So the rest are all white and they keep melting. So I keep it in here to hopefully get it to produce some more green variegation. This is my Hoya Hanhei. I got this when it had 3 leaves on it. It's grown so much since I've got it. It's one of my favorites. I love the splash on it. It just has a lot of potential to it. I think it can grow even more. It's got a wonky leaf on it. Right there is one. It's got 2 of them that are all kind of curled up, but it lives its life in leca. It's got some aborted stems on it, like the elliptica did. I'm hoping that that's not going to make too much of a difference, and that it'll grow more stems too as it matures. This is my Hoya Callistophylla shortleaf. I got this about 15 months ago. It had 4 leaves. It's grown a lot since I've had it. I had a struggle with it because it was planted in coco coir, and I rotted one of the leaves off. But ever since I moved it into Leca, it's been much happier. This is my Hoya Matilde. Unfortunately, I had an unfortunate incident in that I root rotted the roots. So now I had to cut the stem, and it's rerooting in perlite. So it's not looking real happy right now, but I'm hoping that in another month or so it'll be back up to its old glory. I got that as a 2-leaf cutting. This is my sigillatus. It's one of my favorite plants. I got this for Mother's Day. I just love the purple leaves. As soon as I got it, it produced 2 new leaves, and it's got a new stem, as you can see, hiding there. It's a really easy plant to take care of. Got to be careful putting those down. This is my Hoya serpens. I keep it in a enclosed container so as to keep the humidity as high as possible in it. Sorry for the change of scenery, but I have to open it up so you can see inside. And there it is. It's grown about 7 or 8 leaves since I've got it. And it's in wet moss, and it's well rooted in the wet moss. I don't think I could probably pot it up traditionally because of the roots, the aerial roots mixed in with the moss so much. I might just kill the plant. I'd like to transfer it into a larger container, but I gotta find one first. This is my F. Thomsonii. Let me zoom in. It's got fuzzy leaves. I love it. It came in dirt. It got a little dried out. It grew this tendril. I'll show it to you here in just a second. This one that wraps around the trellis right there. And it finally grew 2 new leaves, but it hasn't done much. But lately, it grew this whole new tendril with new leaves on it. So that's pretty exciting. This is my Hoya Fitchii. This was my first small Hoya I bought. It had 3 leaves on it. I lost one. It grew 2. I lost another one before I finally got the hang of how to take care of it. Now it's got 2 new leaves on the way. You can kind of see them if they're careful. And this is one of my pride and joys. This is my Hoya Sarawak. I got this as a one leaf plant. It's grown 3 more leaves. It did have a baby leaf on the stem, but I bumped it and it fell off. So it's kind of a precariously positioned plant. Back here are 2 cuttings. One is an obtusifolia, and the other one, the one with the long leaves, I'm not sure what it is. I got that with the Volatinoides, but I'm just rooting those in perlite. This is my Rotunda flora. It's in pon. It's my only plant in pon, and I struggle with it. It's got lots of vines. It's got lots of leaves, but it could be doing a lot better. And I think once I get the hang of pon down, I think it will do better. Plus, getting on a trellis will help too. Let's put back the Sarawak carefully. Got to do that carefully with those short shelves. This is a verticulata heart leaf, formerly known as a parasitica heart leaf. I love the splashing on it. I got it as a cutting, and it grew 4 leaves on me while I was rooting it in water. This is getting kind of the messy part of my Hoya collection. The first thing you'll see here is a lacanosa. My first lacanosa came heat stressed. So the seller was kind enough to send me another one, and it's doing really well. This is another obtusifolia cutting. I got it in this little shot glass, and it's growing roots, and it's growing 2 new leaves and a nice long stem. So once it gets bigger, I will transplant that into something more substantial. This is the first cutting I took off of my Croniana splash. It had 3 baby leaves on it at the top of the stem, but they fell off because it's rooting in perlite. You know, leaf loss happens, but that's my main plant that I took it off of. I'm hoping to have a plant that I can trade soon. So here, let me take this out so you can see. This started off as one small 4-inch stem and has just grown since then. It's loving its life in LECA. It's got new leaves at the top after where I cut it. So it's happy where it's at. I had to take it from the top shelf and put it on this middle shelf. That right there is some seedlings that didn't unfortunately sprout. I need to take it out of there, but I keep holding on hope that maybe it will sprout after all. The plant next to it is an obscura, and if anyone has any tips on how to take care of an obscura, please let me know, because for every 2 leaves that grow, 1 falls off or 2 fall off. That's my linearis right there. Actually, there's my obscura. Sorry, I got them 2 reversed. The linearis was first. The linearis was from cuttings. It's missing a couple of leaves due to inconsistent watering. It's in a chunky mix, and I don't do well in chunky mixes. I have problems with watering. This is a Caudata big green leaf. When I got it, it had the 1 leaf and a vine, and is now grown 2 leaves. One looks more like a normal Caudata leaf, and one looks like a heart-shaped leaf. So I'm not sure why the 2 different shaped leaves and why neither of them match the main leaf, but I'm hoping that it'll grow more and I'll figure it out. This is a Paulownia in the background, otherwise known as a watermelon begonia. I keep it in here because it loves humidity, and it has been living its large life ever since I put it in here. This is a Rangsen I have. I got it as a 2-leaf cutting, unrooted cutting. One of the original leaves fell off. This leaf right there grew in kind of wonky because it's right next to the trellis. So, you know, I mean, not all leaves on Hoyas are perfect, so you can't expect everything, but it's happy and it's doing good, and it's got lots of splash. This is a Hoya Bella. I got this as a cutting. I'm not sure what's going on with it now. It's got some of those aborted stems. I don't think that produced peduncles because they look like they were going to grow leaves, and the leaves kind of dried up, and now all it's left are these little stumps. So I think I need to take it out of its little container and see what's going on with it. This is the bottom shelf, and this is my begonia Sinbad. When I put it in here, it was down to 2 small leaves, and it's really been a lot happier since I put it in here. This is 2 plants of a philodendron Birkin from back when they were expensive to get. I was trying to push out new leaves, but I'm probably going to take it out of here pretty soon. Going on to the next plant, this is my Finlaysoni. It has 6 leaves. Some of them are hidden, but it's a fun, fast grower, and I love it. And right next to it is a Calistophylla cutting. I'm cut for a friend of mine, and I'm rooting it in perlite. So it took a long, I tried rooting it in water first, but it didn't take. So now I'm trying it in perlite. Now it's taking. It's got roots now. This is a Hoya nervosa, one of my favorite plants. It also came to me as an unrooted cutting. It took a long time to root. This is its new leaf right up here at the top. I'll show it to you here in a second right there. There it is. It grows vines, and then the vines kind of die off. So I'm kind of at fits as to what to do with it right now. As you can see down below, there is the Calistophylla that the cutting was taken from. And then there's a little Lacanosa cutting right there too. Now, on the corner of the picture, these are the Elliptica cuttings that I took from my main plant. They're big cuttings, as you can see. One's doing a little better than the other. They're rooting in leca, and they're new, so they look kind of dehydrated right now, but based upon my previous experience with my rooting the first Hoya elliptica I got, the leaves should plump up pretty soon once it starts growing some roots. The next plant right above it is a Kengiana red center. The leaves come out red when they're new. It's got long vines, but I've had it for about 6 months now. This is a Alocasia black velvet that I got as a 1-leaf plant from a friend of mine. And I've put it in here, and it's just living its best life, and it's got like 6 leaves now, 5 leaves now. This is a Scindapsus tribui. I got this from a grocery store, and it had cold damage and root rot. So I had to take about 3/4 of the plant out and repot it. And now it's much happier, and it's growing lots of new leaves, and everything's set. So there is my tour of my greenhouse. I really hope you liked it. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thanks for watching.